All right. Hi, everybody. This is a walkthrough video for Monday. It is January 27th and try 2, week 10. And this week's yellow bell work is page 48. Okay, here's a review for you about cellular respiration from Unit 2. In cellular respiration, what do cells use as the reactants or starting material? And then what do they produce or form? What are the products? And then what do they store energy as? They store it in ATP. If this is hard for you, you have to go look through the study guide for 1.7 so that you know this content before you take the retake in week 11 for the Unit 2 exam. All right, today we're thinking about aerobic respiration, which we've learned about, but anaerobic respiration, which we have not yet learned about. So that's what we're up to today because many organisms survive in environments without oxygen. Two new entries in your table of contents today. The first one is our week 10 bell work. You'll pick one of those up when you are back in class. And then today is the cellular respiration POGL, page 49. Please pause the video and copy that into your blue table of contents page. All righty. So you know by now we've been learning about life, if that's clear for you, and that we've started to think about ecosystems, the way that living things and their environment form systems. Again, all of these are very different ecosystems, but they're all also in the state of California, right? We learned about the carbon cycle by using that gizmo, that carbon cycling assignment, to think about not just the carbon cycle, but how humans impact the carbon cycle. At the cellular level, though, the carbon cycle is also evident in the relationship between chloroplasts in plants and mitochondria, which both plants and animals have, right? Photosynthesis for the organisms who are photosynthetic gives us not only the glucose that we need in humans to be able to do cellular respiration to get out ATP, but also, really importantly, the oxygen. So today we're going to take a deep dive into thinking about how cellular respiration works and how some cells are able to form ATP without oxygen. So if you were absent, we're going to do the first page together, and then you're going to do question 19. And if you have questions, you can come and see me during Panther Plus, and I will be happy to help you. So let's take a look at this first page of the assignment. Today it says cellular respiration. How is energy transferred and transformed in living systems? Living organisms display the property of metabolism, which is a general term to describe the processes carried out to acquire and use energy. We know that people need to eat, and in our foods are various kinds of nutrients that our cells use. One large group of nutrients in our foods is carbohydrates, which supply our cells with glucose. So the question is, how does the food we chew and swallow fuel our cells? So here is a model of glycolysis. And you'll see there are lots of different shapes here, lots of different arrows here. I wanted to show you that this molecule has 3 carbons. That's what it means by 3C. And in this case, glucose has 6 carbons. That's what it means by 6C. You'll see that some things are disappearing, some things are appearing, some things stay the same. So it says, refer to model 1, what is represented by the hexagon? Well, there's one 6-sided shape here. It's glucose, your friend glucose. How many atoms are in one molecule of glucose? Yeah. What is represented by the triangles? And then how many carbons are in one molecule of that triangle shape? In the process of glycolysis, what happens to glucose after it crosses the cell membrane into the cytoplasm of the cell? Well, hopefully you can see that this molecule has a dotted line around it. It's disappearing, right? And what appears next from one molecule of glucose are 2 of this molecule. So that's the story of glycolysis. Now, what you're going to do is keep reading and you're going to follow the instructions, read what it shows you. Again, this picture of a dotted line means it's in the process of becoming what happens after the arrow. And you'll see, you'll just do some counting. You'll fill this table out. And then this is the electron transport chain. Again, this is all aerobic respiration. Now, this is the page we're going to do together. There are 2 kinds of anaerobic respiration. So this is what happens when there's no oxygen present in the cell. You still do the story from glucose to pyruvic acid, but then the next part becomes lactic acid, or the next part becomes alcohol and CO2. This is the type of fermentation we use to build bread. This is the type of fermentation that we use to build certain cheeses and other fermented items. So the part that we kind of skipped over that I want to make sure that we've talked about is helping you remember the numbers of molecules that get made. So I wanted to tell you glycolysis makes two ATP produced from one glucose molecule. And that two glycolysis happens all the time. Glycolysis is an always situation. And then you need glycolysis to do these parts. So now that you know that, if you still have questions, you can come and see me. But our big goal was thinking about how cellular respiration works and then how cells form ATP when they don't have oxygen. And the answer is they do glycolysis. All right, so next up over the next couple of days, we're going to think once about anaerobic respiration, how cells are able to survive in some parts of these environments where oxygen isn't readily available, like in the brackish sides here, deep in the peat here. And we'll tie it back to ideas about the carbon cycle, especially the part where animals are eating things, plants are taking in CO2. So blank molecules of ATP are formed by just blank, which happens in all living things. I gave you the answer. Now it's your job to make sure you know it. All right, that's it for me. I hope you're doing well out there. See you soon. Bye.